Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, other people, especially our future robot overlords and the like. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. A lot of people have been asking me over the course of however long I've been doing this. How long have I been reviewing? Like four and a half years or so. How I make videos. And, well, I do plan on, well, maybe not plan, but sort of am thinking about doing a full-on video of how I do my reviews from start to finish sort of thing. Since that takes a lot of time, what I figured I'd do is like a little taste, a little teaser, is I would come in and I would show you how I do the intros of glass reflection. So this is the current one, which you guys all well and know, but we'll get to that in a second. First, everyone, this is Yuki. Yuki, this is everyone. Yuki is my desktop computer, which I love and cherish, and will continue to do so until basically the end of time, and she will be acting as our camera for today. Now, first up, the first opening in our wonderful History of History tours is the opening that I did for review number 003, or review 3, Eden of the East. I'm actually playing it without audio right now because that was one of the major things that I will get to. But as you can see, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. There's flashes. It's my first actual use of the Twitch effect, which people know now as my default transition in basically all my videos ever now because it is awesome, but this was the first time I ever used it in like way back when, before I actually started using it for normal things. You can also see a nice shot of my camera there. I have never replaced that camera yet. I plan to as soon as I can, actually save for a new one, but it's actually quite amazing what you can actually do with a camera, and all you need to do is fix your lighting. That's basically the difference between my earlier reviews and my current reviews, because the camera is exactly the same. So a lot of people were actually asking me why I didn't continue to use this intro for a number of reviews after the fact, and the reasoning for that is because I edited the entire intro to the Oasis song Falling Down, which, if anybody knows, that is the intro of Eden of the East, hence why I used it in the first place. But back 4 years ago, when I actually made this review and released it onto the net, the copyright ID system was a lot more strict. Now, that's not saying that it isn't strict now, but back in the day, it was just like, oh, hey, you have this song that you don't have any permission for, so we're gonna, mute your entire video. Either that or they're gonna take it down. Luckily, it didn't get taken down, but the entire video got muted, so I had to, remove the audio, and that, basically killed my want and desire to use that opening for basically anything, so I scrapped it. But now that YouTube's a little bit more lenient, if you actually go and check out the review, then you can actually see it there in its full unmuted glory. The only difference is that now there's ads playing on it, and the ad revenue will either go to Oasis or it'll go to Funimation because there's Eden of the East footage in it. But yeah, it was kind of like my thought at the time to make an opening for every video, which I sort of continued with Death Note, but Death Note I basically just ripped an old AMV that I did and threw it in front of it, and that was kind of as far as I went with that. But yeah, from then on, we're going to continue on to the actual standard with the glass reflection logo that only takes 5 seconds. So this next one was the original basis for basically everything that followed it. All it is a little wave thing, and then the text goes down, and then it explodes into not so tiny pieces, which actually looks like crap now that I'm looking at it again so far in the future. But this is basically how everything I wanted just kind of came to be. I wanted the text to come in, and I wanted it to explode in some way, shape, or form to make it look cool. And I used this intro for 8 or 9 reviews. I don't know the exact number, but eventually I replaced it with this next one. Give me a sec. This one. Boom. Yeah, and that'll just keep going on a wonderful loop there. So this was actually version 2. As you can see, it's the first time that I actually used the proper glass reflection logo. This was the first time I actually standardized the look of it. Got the font right, got the positioning right, had the katakana at the bottom with the wonderful lines. It was a good time designing this. I had fun. But the intro itself was basically just this explosion from the nothingness. It attacks from the darkness. And then it shakes a bit, and then it actually explodes into tiny pieces. See that? Tiny pieces, not those gigantic-ass pieces from the last one. And I was very proud of that. The other thing that I actually did with this a lot of the time is that in the background, I had a ramp that I could just go, you're going to be red now. And of course, I could also change the color of the text if I could actually remember. Oh, wait, no, that was in a totally different comp, wasn't it? Yes, here we go. Here we go. And then let's do some Christmas colors. Green. Although that looks horrible, but ooh, no, that's right. Yeah, there we go. That actually looks really freaking horrible, but you get the idea. Sort of. Let's do a darker green. Maybe that'll look better. There we go. Comp 1. Yeah, that's like barf green on like blood red. So that's not the best of ideas, but what I tried to do when I was using this, as I go back to black, so it actually looks sort of decent and I don't feel like it's absolute shit anymore. What I was doing with this one was I was actually taking like the 2 most prominent colors in whatever anime I was reviewing, and then I would just constantly re-render this opening out so that it fit. Problem with that is that it added like an extra 40 minutes to the time of making any review, just because this at the time took like forever to render out. Because it was quite a bit. It just stuff and things, and now it's unrendered again, and I'm not going to sit here and let it do its thing. But that was back with my old computer, and it took, between the color change and the re-rendering, it took like 45 minutes, and I hated doing that, so in future openings, which we will get to, I standardized the colors, so then I wouldn't have to keep changing that. But I did, at the time, and that was the opening. It actually wasn't that hard to make. I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. About 90% of everything that I've ever done in After Effects was done by following tutorials. As good in After Effects as I am, and there were some things that I've done in After Effects without tutorials, like the entire opening to the Black Lagoon review, for example, that was basically all done by me, just with my own knowledge of After Effects at the time. But a lot of these things, like the openings, were all done using tutorials, or at least this one was. It was done from a tutorial that I found on videocopilot.net. Shout out to Andrew Kramer, because they were also the guys that made the Twitch plugin. That is like my favorite After Effects plugin of all time. Anyway, so that was opening 2. And now, the Frosty opening. As I do my horrible sound effects. So, yeah, this one is kind of an edit on the old one. Or by old one, I mean opening 2. This is officially review... Oh, wait, what the hell are you doing? Are you, like, not... Okay, there we go. This is very similar. Notice how the intro explosion's the same, except the colors are more standardized now, because I have the dark blue. I have this green that I think I scrapped later on because I didn't like it. And I actually changed the colors for the actual text. But the important bit that I really liked is not the explosion, not the Twitch effects that I just threw in here. Ooh, but look at that frostiness. See, the snow just comes in, and then the text dissolves into snow. I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. That is also a tutorial, so it's like combining tutorials that I just did that. And then I found some snow and other particle effects to just toss in front of it to make it look like a bunch of snow coming in. And that was cool. Why won't you... Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And I had some Twitch effects in that I believe I scrapped in the 3.5 version. Memories. Anyway, there was a 3.5 version. Let me get to that. And this was the 3.5 version. Same Explume. No Twitch effects. Snow. My website! Oh my god! And then it fades out. So, in comparison to version 3, if you will stop being a little something or other, I first got rid of the grain, which I hated. I don't know why I even had it the first time. Got rid of the Twitch effects, and then added in my website, because I'm cool like that, and awesome sauce. You also notice, maybe, that it looks a lot cleaner, and that's because it's now in 1080p. That was because when I was doing this one, I figured, well, even though my videos are only 720p, it'll look a lot better if the intro was in 1080p and then scaled down, rather than being in 720p natively, and then it fade out. And that was pretty cool. And between 3.5 and 3, this is probably the one I've used on majority of my latter end, with the exception of the last 5 or 6. that belong to the new opening. And here it is, the final version. Boom, boom. Of course, it doesn't actually have the end bit in there because this is my render version. The actual version has like this blue filter over it that looks really cool, as well as, you know, the logo and everything at the end. And After Effects is being a pain because it doesn't like the fact that I'm trying to record my screen in 1080p while also doing this. Come on. Don't be a dick. There we go. Now it's allowing me to click and drag. So, this basically takes away from everything that we've done before, or that you've seen before. There's no exploom, there's no wavy effects, there's no twitch. It's just a camera moving back, and a bunch of anime images. And this is actually the first opening that I have done that does not rely on a tutorial. There is no tutorial that'll tell you how to do this. Basically, the only help I had with this is that I found an After Effects file floating around the internet that had this camera movement and a couple of lighting effects. So then I added all the different frames, and ooh, hey, see that wonderful little flare line type thing that's on all of them? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had to line all that, which is a real pain in the ass. Anyway, so I put them all in here and did all the music for it. The music was all done by me in Fruity Loops FL Studio, which I had a lot of fun doing. Even though it's like really, really basic, it's just like, oh, a couple of lines that I totally did not steal from Gurren Lagann, and then just some strings that are playing one note, and then that ping noise from the Dot Hack series that I thought was really cool. That's basically how I do most of my stuff. I see it, I think it's really cool, and then I lovingly borrow it. But yeah, the thing with this opening is when I first made it, I made it for the Clan Ad review, and the original idea behind it was that there was going to be an image here for every review I have ever done. Currently there is not. This maybe, I think, only covers about half-ish of them, but not all. And the main reason why I haven't done one for all is because, as you may have been able to see, is that I'm running out of room to place them. Like sometimes I could place like something like here, like there's space between the Bamboo, Evangelion, and Hellsing. Problem is, okay, here we go. Problem is that if I did place something there, boom, Spike instantly covers it. And that's like the case in a lot of places. I try to have something that's at least on screen for long enough to be recognizable to some extent before it instantly gets covered up by something else. And I'm just slowly running out of room. For me to say, yeah, I'm going to double the amount of frames that are here, it's almost impossible. So I think I'm just going to leave the number of frames that are here, but I might just swap the images around in every different episode and review. Because unlike version 2 that took like 45 minutes to render, this only takes like maybe 10 minutes to render out on my new wonderful computer that is named Yuki because she is awesome. I might decide to change everything out, and what I would probably do is try to make the distance that the camera has to travel longer, thus giving me just more space in 3D. But the problem is that it would still have to traverse the same distance in the same amount, or the new distance in the same amount of time, so it would just be like, it'd start, and then it'd just be like, wah, and it's already out here. It'd just be like really quick, and then you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway, thus making the whole thing a mute point. So I am unsure about what I will do with that. It is currently on the ideas tabule. I'm very proud of this opening. I really, really like it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And apparently everybody else is really liking it too, so that's a major, major plus. Though if you guys all hated it, I'd still use it anyway because I like it, and that's good enough for me, really. So I hope you've enjoyed this like mini trip down memory lane. I may or may not do an actual video talking about how I make reviews in the future, but that's something that I'd need to take time and plan out, and this is just something I threw together because I thought it might be cool, and I kind of wanted to traverse down memory lane myself, so I figured I'd drag some of you along with me. And until next time, when I do an actual review that will hopefully be coming up very soon, ladies, gentlemen, and others, my name is Arcada. Until next time, again, even though I've already said that, what the hell, I'm stalling now. Stay frosty, everyone.